Hi guys, it's CUPCAKE here, and today I'm going to show you guys some yummy holiday treats that are perfect to give away as gifts or to bring to a holiday party, or you could just eat them for yourself because they're delicious. So anyways, let's just get started. First, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the cookie dough truffles, or I like to call them lumps of coal. So first you're going to start off with a half a cup of softened butter, and that's just 1 stick of butter, and you're going to plop that inside of your bowl. Then taking a 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar, you're just going to put that in the bowl as well. Then taking an electric mixer or stand mixer, you're just going to take the butter and the sugar and start creaming that together until it becomes light and fluffy. Then you're just going to add a teaspoon of vanilla and then mix that in as well. Then I'm going to start gradually adding in 2 cups of flour and alternating with a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And once you have that all mixed in, you can now add in your half a cup of chocolate chips, and I decided to use mini chocolate chips, and then you're just going to mix that in. And then you're going to want to take a baking sheet lined with some wax paper, and then I just started taking some cookie dough and rolling them into 1-inch sized balls. Once you are done with that, then you can just put your cookie dough balls inside of the fridge for about 1 to 2 hours until they're firm. And right before the 1 to 2 hours is up, you're going to want to take some chocolate and just melt that inside of the microwave. It doesn't really matter what chocolate you use. Then you can just remove your cookie dough balls from the fridge, and then you're just going to start covering them in chocolate, and you're going to want to make sure it's a pretty thin coating or else it's going to be too much chocolate. It's kind of hard, but you're just going to want to shake the extra chocolate off, and then you're just going to want to place that back onto the wax paper sheet. And then this is optional, but I just sprinkled on some little Christmas sprinkles, and then you're just going to want to put your cookie dough truffles back inside the fridge for 15 minutes so the chocolate coating will harden. And then after that you can just take them out and place them in little cupcake liners or do whatever you like with them. Now for the easiest out of all of them, I'm going to show you guys how to make these chocolate covered Oreo snowmen. So you're just going to use some Oreos, and I decided to use the winter themed ones. So starting off with some white chocolate candy melts, I'm just going to be melting those down inside the microwave with 30-second intervals so the chocolate doesn't burn. Then on a wax covered baking sheet, you're just going to take your Oreos and start covering them inside of the white chocolate, and again shaking off the extra chocolate. Then taking some more of the white chocolate, you're going to want to melt that as well, and then add in some yellow and red food coloring to make orange for the carrot nose. And I just put this inside of a pastry piping bag, and then I just piped on some little carrot noses. And then taking some regular milk or dark chocolate, you're just going to put that inside of a pastry bag again, and I just started piping on the eyes and the mouth. Now for my personal favorite, the Reindeer cake pops. So you'll need some already made cake. I just made a standard yellow cake. So the first thing you're going to do is make some buttercream frosting. So you're just going to take a half a cup of butter, which is again 1 stick of butter, and 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and you're just going to beat that until it gets really light and fluffy. Then you're going to beat in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're going to gradually add in 2 cups of powdered sugar. And this is what it should look like when you're all finished. And then you're just going to start adding in your cake to the frosting, and I'm just crumbling it up. And there's no real measurement to how much cake and frosting goes in. It's basically just 2 parts cake and 1 part frosting, and you don't want it to be too dry or too moist. And then taking the cake and frosting mixture, you're just going to start rolling this into about 1-inch sized balls, and you're just going to keep on doing this, and you can just place these on a plate. And then taking some melted chocolate, you're going to want to put your lollipop stick in that and mix it around and make sure it has a nice coating on it to make sure that the cake pop does not fall off of the stick. After you've put in all the lollipop sticks in, you're going to want to let that sit inside the freezer for about 1 to 2 hours just so it hardens. And to make the reindeer's face, you'll need some red M&Ms, some white chocolate chips, and pretzels to make the antlers. And so how you make the antlers is you take a pretzel and carefully cut it down the middle. And then you're just going to cut off a teeny bit of the inside to make the little antlers. And more chocolate. So now I'm melting down some milk chocolate to cover the outside of the cake pops in. And then after the cake pops are completely hardened, you're just going to want to start covering the chocolate with the cake pops and just tapping off the excess chocolate. And now you can start decorating the cake pops. So you're just going to put in 2 pretzels for the antlers. And then you're just going to take a red M&M and place that in the center for the nose, and then 2 white chocolate chips for the eyes. And then on a toothpick, I just took the milk chocolate and dabbed little pupils for the eyes. And then you have an adorable reindeer cake pop. And the last thing I'll be showing you guys how to make is some Ornament sugar cookies. So for this you'll need some Jolly Ranchers and any flavor you like. I went originally with the red, green, and blue, but I didn't end up using the blue ones. So first you're going to unwrap all of your Jolly Rancher candies. And after you've done that, you can just place them inside of a Ziploc baggie and seal that shut. Then taking a spoon, you can just start hitting the candies and breaking them up, and this is a little bit difficult because the Jolly Ranchers are super duper hard, so it just takes a little bit of time. But after you've done that, you can just place that inside of like a little cup. And now I'm just cutting out the stencil for the cookie, and I got this one actually out of a cupcake decorating book, but I will link a Ornament stencil down below inside the description box, and I'm just cutting that out. I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. And then I just made some sugar cookie dough, and I will link the recipe down inside the description box, and then you're just going to want to roll that out and lay your stencil down. And then I just took a small little knife and I'm just cutting out the stencil. Sweet dreams, still sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams. And then after you're done cutting it out, you can just remove the stencil and then transfer that cookie onto your baking sheet. And I found that it was easier to cut out the center and the little ornament holder part on the actual cookie sheet. So to make the little holder part, I used a straw, and the center I used a little miniature bowl. And once you have all your cookies made, you're just going to pop that inside of the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes. And then after your cookies are out of the oven, you can just start taking your crushed up Jolly Ranchers and placing those inside of the center. You're going to put the cookies back inside the oven for 2 to 3 minutes to melt the Jolly Rancher candies so it creates a stained glass ornament effect. Then you're going to want to let the cookies sit for 15 minutes so they completely harden, and that's what it should look like. Then I'm taking some K-Roll light corn syrup and some red and green sugar sprinkles, and then I'm just going to be heating up the corn syrup for 10 seconds inside the microwave until it bubbles. And then taking a little brush, I'm just brushing on the corn syrup really lightly onto the cookie, just onto the parts where I want the sugar sprinkles to be. And then I'm just sprinkling on a lot of the sugar sprinkles, and don't worry about the excess because you can just put that back inside the container after you're done, and then you can just tap off the excess sugar. And then I'm just taking some leftover buttercream frosting from the cake pops, and I'm just dyeing that yellow with some food coloring. And then I'm just spraying that onto the hanger part of the cookie. And there's your finished cookie. And like I said, these make a perfect gift for anybody for the holidays, so you can just put a whole bunch of these treats on a plate and wrap it up with a cute little bow, and it's a perfect gift for someone.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ding tingling too.
So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave me a picture on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag Craftmas if you guys make any of these, and I'll see you guys next time.
Friends are calling you.